Welcome, seekers. Once again, we're finally back into the sanctuary of the enlightened. Welcome back to the sacred transmission where your knowledge forges into an arsenal and solitary sight multiplies across the ledger dimension. You have looked through the veil and you have answered the summon echoing through the ledger. Come on inside and be consecrated into this digital world. The enigmas of cult unfold before your eyes, streaming the ancient protocols from the blockchain seal vaults straight into your mind. Make sure that this is not a passive viewing. Make sure that this is where your grind is elevated into a sacrament. This is where those who watch become initiates, and initiates become vessels of the unlimited potential. Welcome to the CULTcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the CULTcast. I know we've been missing in action for a few weeks now, and we all know that it has been an uphill battle to get back here, but we are here. We are super excited to be back. Cult Rising on a Thursday, and I'm going to bring the man of the hour here. Pheanor, what's happening, baby?
Hey, man, no better time to be back. Yeah. Super bullish out here, man.
That's good.
Super bullish.
It's a good timing for the comeback, and I think, it's just, it happens to all of us. We were, unable to do the stream, mainly because you were dealing with some, I will say, health issues. That's what happened when you have little ones at the house. That's what happened.
That's right.
There's nothing else you can do, but you're back. And before we start, I want to go ahead on and ask everyone who's watching, whether you are on X, on YouTube, or you watching somewhere else, maybe in a server somewhere in an undisclosed location, and you're tapping into the CULTcast, make sure that you make your way to YouTube and you smash the like button. Make sure that you leave a comment or chat. If you're watching on X, make sure that you share or reshare this stream. Make sure that you hit the heart button and leave a comment too. That helps us a lot. And with that being said, I'm going to give it to you. You're going to give us a quick summary of what we're going to be looking at today. It's 7:03 p.m. Eastern where I am. So we're going to try to keep it to 60 minutes today. Mm-hmm. And we have a ton of information. Pheanor, you did a phenomenal job condensing everything that we need to know, in a span of 45 minutes. So let's go.
Yeah, we got a lot to cover, a lot to be bullish about. We not only are we back, it seems like the market is back. Woo. Extremely bullish. XRP seemingly pegged to $1, playing the stablecoin role. We wake up today, we're bumping up into $1.25, $35, right? This is incredible to see. This is a significant impulse up. Everybody's feeling it. Hopefully this continues the steady grind up and we see a $5 or $6 plus XRP here in due time. But, if you go back and you kind of watch the catalog of content, we've been saying, looks like the lows are in. It's going to take a little while for that sentiment to catch up. And here we go. We've got a strong impulse move in XRP. But the signal continues. We're not just looking at XRP anymore. You want to make sure that if you're passionate about XRP, you are equally, if not more, passionate about the XRP ledger. There has never been a better time to join. You can get a Joey wallet, Joey, available both the Android and the Apple iStore. You can join through that wallet. You can onboard into First Ledger for meme tokens. You can onboard into the XRP Cafe for NFTs. And as we see from last time, late 2024, when XRP was starting to get that momentum before these large impulse breakouts, the ledger had incredible volume, incredible growth. There was so much opportunity to multiply your XRP, learn the most accelerated learning pathway you can go on, in my opinion, if you really want to understand XRP and how it works and the infrastructure surrounding it. You'll get an intimate knowledge of what the real challenges for XRP are. You know, in the XRP ledger, we need some more onboarding. In that friction, we also have the biggest opportunity, which is that friction represents the growth curve. And so if you love XRP, we see how far ahead it is as a digital asset. It's in due time, the XRP ledger will catch up to it. And that catch up is going to represent the largest opportunity to multiply your XRP bags. So we want to make sure that as we see this momentum start to build in XRP, the digital asset, as a layer one, we want to challenge the XRP community to start to think a bit deeper, not just to hold the asset, but to understand how that asset is deployed in its own environment, the XRP ledger. What opportunities are available for you as an XRP holder? We're going to cover these things tonight. We're going to try to keep it to the top of the hour, and respect everybody's time here. But there is a lot of value, and now is the time to start to lock in, pay attention, and take those steps. If you have not taken the steps to get a wallet, to understand how to self-custody your XRP, how to get active on the XRP ledger, we're going to completely plug you in tonight. The right accounts, the right builders, the right projects. We're going to lay it all out. We're going to continue to do this week after week to make sure we give people the best opportunity possible as we come into potentially a new bull market run. So that's just a quick overview. We're excited. XRP again, $1.35, $1.25. Incredible. We love to see it. We can go ahead and get started.
Phenomenal. So as you say, you know, the price is going up. Sentiment is up as well. So I want to know, what can we expect from the XRP ledger right now?
Okay, so what we want to be looking for are these early growth signals coming out of the XRP ledger. And we've got that with the foundation. Now, this is one of the first things we've got queued up for you today. And the foundation, XRPL Foundation, is actually managed. The community director is managed by a gentleman named Vet. Very passionate, very deeply knowledgeable gentleman about the XRP ledger. Couldn't have a better person. Understands the nuances of community building that's going on the XRPL, which is kind of this new wave and old wave coming together to just make an incredible, you know, growth trajectory for the ledger. But here's something we're looking at as an early signal. So we've got the XRP Ledger Foundation. Follow this account if you're not. And it says the institutional lending on XRP Ledger is becoming concrete. Okay, it gives a couple instances here. How is this happening? XLS, now you remember we did an episode about this a couple times ago. XLS 66, the lending amendment, lending protocol. XLS 65, single asset vault. So what is he saying? He's saying that we're getting institutional adoption based on these amendments that are going to fundamentally change the XRP ledger, so that institutions can now come out and deploy their XRP to make a yield. So this is essentially institutional DeFi on the ledger. Now, this is a huge step forward. The more on-chain or on-ledger activity there is, the more support there is and the more demand there is for the layer one asset, XRP. And so you can see, and he even says this down below, that there's a flywheel effect supporting XRP DeFi. And we also, just as native users of the XRPL, can tap into some of these opportunities as well. And there's many other opportunities coming along, like XLS 56 batch, which allows more, you know, builders, if you want to call it, in the meme sphere or different service sectors, people providing different services. That's going to allow a whole new pathway for people to tap in and make profit off of the services that they're offering through their platforms on the XRP ledger. So we've got numerous different ways that the ledger is starting to open up, whether it's institutional or just native user adoption. In both cases, we got, you know, strong parallel signals that are trending, you know, on-chain growth. And this is what we want to see. So we're extremely bullish about that. You know, we got, this is a special one. As we move forward, we got the Hyperliquid announcement. Okay. Now, Hyperliquid, or Hype, hashtag Hype, pumps 15% to $69 after President Trump says that the CFTC is working to bring it to the U.S. This is a very big deal. If the American markets can get access to Hyperliquid, then that stands to reason. You can make informed speculation that you're going to get things like perp markets on the XRP ledger potentially. Now, this is a huge deal. This means we've already got RLUSD. We got that, I believe, last year or early this year. We got RLUSD, our stable coin, on the ledger. Now we've got Hype coming to the American markets, Hyperliquid coming to the American markets. That could very easily see a situation where the Joey wallet could onboard the perp market through Hyperliquid directly into an XRPL native wallet.
Sweet.
So now you've got an instance where you can deploy your XRP. You can stable up into RLUSD. You would even be able to trade, different assets, broader assets like you would in any perp market. We've got NFTs and meme tokens. So you can see how and I just showed you the institutional lending and DeFi stuff that's coming online soon. So you start to take a step back and you say, well, if XRP is heating up, the XRP ledger is heating up, then what do I need to know to have a maximum value for this, for this opportunity? It seems to reason that you holding XRP is an opportunity cost. You want to be able to hold your XRP, but you want to also know what's going on. Where's the next growth curve going to happen for XRP? Of course, it'll happen with a native asset, but the ledger is offering new opportunities that you just otherwise wouldn't have, and they all point towards multiplying the base asset, multiplying your XRP. So this is something we're extremely excited between institutional DeFi coming on the ledger, Hyperliquid coming to the American markets, and seeing how the XRPL can position for these type of growth trends. I mean, this is a huge opportunity. You're going to see the trend is going to be get to the ledger. It's going to take a month or two. It's going to take a while for it to really saturate into the broader XRP community. It's a bit of a new take, a bit of a new trend, but it is undeniable. And as we go through this, we'll hopefully it becomes clear to you like it is to us.
Phenomenal. So now let me ask you a question. As we prepare for more on-chain growth, what are the core platforms like First Ledger and the XRP Cafe been up to? Because that's I think foundational for us to understand what those who have been playing the long game are doing right now to continue to stay cutting edge.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And this is so core because the First Ledger XRP Cafe team, Joey Wallet, there's a through line of a same group of people that have just remained extremely dedicated and passionate to building on the ledger. And you can see they haven't stopped. Through the bear market, through the bull market, bear market, they've continued to push updates. We've had the First Ledger Stay to Earn campaign, and here we go. First Ledger with a new update. We got pulled up for the first one here, and they're now got their pro mode. That's what they call it. Introducing the pro mode on First Ledger. So pro mode allows a fully customized trading experience, right? And so even the trading terminals, First Ledger allows you to buy and sell meme tokens. It allows you to manage the liquidity of a meme token. It has a bunch of different features like alerts, wallet tracking, portfolio, all the things you would expect. Natural integration into the Joey wallet as well. And here we go, just another deployment, another update. I believe this is their third update to their trading terminal. And it's everything you want to see. You've got your trading, transaction logs there at the bottom. I know that you can actually pull up order books on this now. There's so many different things they've added. There's a bunch of stuff not seen here, but you can actually customize this entire, drag and drop this entire workflow now that they got in their trading terminal. So we're extremely bullish on that. First Ledger is positioned between what they've got in their trading terminal, their platform. It's also a launch pad. It's definitely a lead contender for volume on the XRPL and the meme side as well. And you see what they've got with the Joey wallet, and then we would point here at the cafe next. But you kind of put that whole picture together, and it's really they've positioned well to help be there for when the XRP onboarding to the ledger happens. That people will have a dependable platform, dependable services to be able to interact, right? Because that's what we want. We need dependable, easy onboarding. We want easy onboarding without sacrifice of ability to perform and deep dive. And First Ledger striking that balance very, very well. And we can turn over to the cafe, another fundamental team out here on the XRPL. If you're not familiar with this, really take some time and understand what we're saying. Go to these accounts on X and understand this is basically the locus. This is the nexus of where the primary amount of the lion's share amount of volume, trading, culture, all these type of things are taking place on. So XRP Cafe, a couple episodes, we mentioned that they did a V2 update. That has done very well. I think that's basically been fully adopted by the ledger now. People are out here trading, buying and selling NFTs. But now they're doing weekly updates, right? So they're starting to interact more with the community, with the XRP ledger. I love to see this. So they got a couple of things that they're bullish about that can help us inform our position. Ripple partners with Jeonbuk Bank. I guess that's how you pronounce. Who knows how to pronounce that? Some Korean bank. White House meeting, right? Bullish on that for sure. Jane Street XRP ETF. XRPL active addresses hit 2-month high. That's extremely bullish to me. XRPL 3.3 updates for voting. Nobody even knows what that is. You know what I'm saying? But they're putting it out there. And but that just goes to show you how out of touch. You know, I bet a lot of people wouldn't even know XRPL 3.3. They don't understand XRPL active addresses hit a 2-month high. They don't know why that's bullish. This is the learning curve for the XRPL ledger to go through, or for the broader XRP community to go through, so that they can start to appropriately value the XRP ledger. If you only value XRP as a digital asset, you are missing at least half of what it takes for XRP to reach the valuation that we all desire it to, you know, 10 plus, or God forbid you're 1,000 plus person, you know, go with God on that. But, you know, I'll take 10, you know, be happy there. We can talk about 20 after that. So, but these are the early signals you want to see for that real robust, you know, strong cycle after cycle improvement growth. This is what we want to see. It's not enough for XRP to perform. We need the ledger to perform as well. We need the ledger to be broadly adopted by the community as well. And so these are just two fundamental, you know, services and platforms out here on the ledger. We want to see them continue to grow, continue to build, and that's exactly what they're doing. So to me, that's extremely bullish.
Now, the next one is XRP Scan. What's the take on that?
Okay, this is a huge one. So XRP Scan is the native blockchain or ledger explorer. So like an ETH scan, Sol scan. This is XRP Scan. And this is a full new update that they've done. I believe this is XRP Scan 3.0. Yeah. In fact, yeah, here we go. It says, it's a great day today. This just came out. We're happy to announce the all-new XRP Scan 3.0. New accounts page, dark mode, social cards, deeper metrics, flexible network translations, and more, right? This is huge. This is another big step. So from XRPL Foundation, talking about institutional DeFi onboarding, our core, you know, if you like it, the trenches, or, you know, the broader, you know, native user base, I've got updates coming from First Ledger, the Joey Wallet, XRP Cafe, and here again, XRP Scan, our ledger explorer, right? It just got an update. So in all these different ways, the XRPL is starting to get a facelift. It's starting to get a, you know, more features, more services. This is extremely robust. This is what we want to see. So if you haven't yet, make sure that you go out there and you snoop around on the new XRP Scan 3.0, totally different layout, a lot of new information and data made available. You want to make sure you go out there and spend 5 or 10 minutes and just poke around, see what's going on. So this was a huge signal for me, in my opinion.
Good. So let's move on from the core infrastructure, and let's focus on other key and well-known builders in the XRPL, because here in the CULTcast, we have been very, very vocal about the people who are making it happen. And we want to continue that trend. We want to see who's doing what, make sure we know who to follow, make sure that we support those who are putting in the work. And then again, we add in our little grain of sand into this mound to continue to grow. And we want to be able to celebrate those and know what those who are putting in their you know, add into that work. So let's start with Daniel. How about that?
Oh man, shout out to the CEO of the Ledger, Daniel. You got to follow this guy on X. He's always cutting up something, but you can't look. He's like, I know you see that 40K Warhammer PFP as well, but this guy is as good as it gets. Yeah, I know you'd like that. I like that too. Pretty based, but you can see here, CEO of the XRPL is a longtime builder. Does live streams, very open. Helps people, teach people, always giving a good take. His new platform here is Lucky Hash, okay? So they've just done the migration. In fact, if you scroll down on his account real quick.
Right there.
One more, let's go down one more post. Maybe one more. Right there, that one.
This one.
So you can see here he's talking about the Lucky Hash. In fact, if you click that LHT, the next chapter, this is a good one for people to kind of digest if you want to get a nice little overview. He's got the next chapter, a couple different token stats there, but he's basically migrated over to Lucky Hash. This is a great opportunity for people on the ledger. He's offering killer affiliate. His roadmap is probably one of the most robust. It's a big deal for Daniel to win on Lucky Hash because it represents a large surface area for onboarding new users to the XRPL. So there's a sense in which if Daniel wins on this kind of broader vision he has for Lucky Hash as a service for games offered on the XRPL, that we all win because that's a huge onboarding vector for the XRPL. So we always stay in touch with him, definitely supporting him, looking to lock in deeper with Lucky Hash, and everybody tune in on that journey if you haven't. It's one to keep aware of.
And he's been a supporter here on the CULTcast multiple times, and I think that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we, are open to collaborate with everybody who's doing good work, right? So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's not like the XRPL community is huge. It's still a tight community, and it's not that many of us that are really day in and day out engage in the ledger. So it is super simple. And if you're watching this and you're doing something on the ledger and you want to reach out to us, just show up to the CULTcast, leave us a comment. And we will, we will reach out back. That's exactly what we're looking for. Good talent. We're looking for people who are putting in the work. And if you want to be featured, it's super simple. Just let us know. Show us your work. And if you're doing good stuff, we will talk to you and see what you're doing. So,
absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Celebrate, builders. Celebrate people who are adding value. Daniel's one of those. Always be sure to tap in. Follow that account if you're not. Follow Lucky Hash account.
Absolutely.
All that'll be in the description after the show. But yeah, we got another key builder queued up as well.
Here you
What
go.
We got here.
XRPL.
Oh, this is one of
Yeah.
This is a must follow account. Keep your eyes on XRPL.to. Keep your eyes on this guy. Easily one of the most premier builders on the ledger, most technically adept builders on the ledger, and his platform is continually evolving. XRPL.to, continually evolving, okay? All these new data sets, feature sets that he's got. In fact, if you scroll down, I think his first post has something to do with, right here. Like, look at this. You can now see developer sell impact for a token, including their free holdings, so if they got something for free, and liquidity pool holdings, and how a full exit could impact the token price. So it's little data things like this that he's building out for us, that, these little nuances that are extremely helpful. The more data, the more open and accessible the ledger becomes, the better our experience as traders, NFT flippers, speculators on the ledger, the better it's going to be. The more informed your position, the better off you'll be. And XRPL.to, I'm telling you, I think in the long run, 3-6 months, is going to be, this is going to be a top platform for the XRPL moving forward, period, in my opinion. It's probably one of my deepest convictions. I'm extremely thankful that this dude's out here building. Good guy, very mission built, clearly giving it all into how he's building out the platform. Hopefully one day we can get him on the CULTcast.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a blessing. He could break it. We'd have to tell him to chill out. He's too technical.
Yeah. No, that's good.
I love that dude. Yeah,
and it's interesting.
Sure,
a lot of people don't understand if simply being on the trenches feels like a full-time job. Imagine when you're on the trenches and you're building at the same time. That's
a commitment.
Full-time job plus overtime. So
yeah,
that's just
absolutely.
how it is. And you got to give props to those who are doing that. So I think this is for us, the end of the state of the ledger. If we can go into the next segment, which is the XFeed analysis, I want you to tell us or tell our audience what are some of the top traders and moves in the XRPL and what we should be paying attention to as the ledger heats up right now, because we want to make sure what moves other players are making so we can, approach the situation intelligently. So go ahead on and give us a little bit of that.
Well said. Now, this is deeply important. You don't want to be, and especially if we got any cross-chainers in the audience, anybody who's watching from Solana or the Hood or, wherever you might be, Base, BNB, whatever, you don't want to ever be on copy trading. The best traders, they leave a little signature of their methodology behind. You can learn from watching them. You can learn how they think about things, how they look for opportunities. And that's who we're trying to point people towards so that they can have the best opportunity, the best time out here in the ledger. Come out here and win. We want to see people win.
Yeah, I want to say something based on what you just said, and that is very important. And I notice that works everywhere, and is definitely something that has helped me here. And it is these guys who are studying the numbers, the charts, that they have a methodology, that they're paying attention to the macro and the micro. They're looking at the whole thing. They're taking a holistic approach on how everything is moving. There are patterns that you're able to see in their conversation with the public.
Absolutely.
And I think that's one of the things that we have to learn to do, is to pay attention to that and to move, when the time is right. And I think you're about to give us, some good alpha on who's doing this and why we should be following.
Yeah, this is about as good as it gets, in my opinion. And he put his methodology out there. If you're not familiar with XRM, the XRM account, all the ZERPs, this is the guy. So at ZerpZoo, got a parody account. He's a trench lord, okay? So you got to realize that's what I am too. A lot of the guys are, it's part of the culture. I absolutely love it. XRM will not only help you make a fat bag, he will have you cackling, laughing the entire way as you win. But here he goes. Welcome in, Trench Lords. Lock in. And this is the best alpha on the ledger right now. If you're a trader, you're coming out here trying to speculate, cut up a bag, right here. XRP Sniper Bot, there's his link. Lighthouse, he calls it the cheat code for the trenches. This is a really good, basically, how would you say, it's kind of custom built for the ledger of different wallet tracking alerts and everything, and how to just really get it all plugged in and set up, and you really can't miss. It's a really good way of being tapped in without having to be, completely plugged into the screen all day. And so he's got that on game right there for you. And then his first ledger alert hub and how that's all set up. And there's his ref link as well, which you should, for this information, you should use his ref link. Honestly, this is over 47,000 views for a reason on this. That's huge for an XRPL trench post. And it's true. He is one of the best, easily one of the best. And I learn from him every week. And so if you ever see the XRM account opening up a space, jump in that space. That post I just showed you is the pinned post on his account. Okay? So if you go to at ZerpZoo on X, go to his account, XRM, and go to his pinned post. There's all the alpha you need to become an informed speculator. These are kind of the basic toolkits, the tech, good tech, that the top traders out here are kind of utilizing. There's a couple other nuances and secrets out here, but that's a great first step. You'll be ahead of the pack as we head into this meme season for this. And as we do head into the meme season, and that's going to happen. I've already been through it once on the XRPL. This is going to happen again. And I am telling you, you want to be following accounts like XRM when it really starts heating up, because he's going to win, and you want to win with him.
Absolutely. So I actually put the link to that post that we just saw on X on
Perfect.
the chat of YouTube. And
Yeah.
like I say, guys, if you're interacting in YouTube, is way more dynamic than any other platform until we branch out to Kick and Twitch. But for the time being, YouTube is where he's at for us, for the back and forth. I'm trying to interact a little bit with the X live stream, but the official place to go back and forth is YouTube for that. And now we're going to bring the next one, and you're gonna do the honors to tell us.
Oh
who
yeah,
it
here
is.
we go. This is the homie right here. This is Medici. Shout out Medici. Medici coming to YouTube soon. All right, brace yourself for that. That's gonna be a straight movement. I can't wait to see this guy cook. But here we go. The XRPL trenches have a few usual suspects. Trenches belong to a select few misfits. Somehow these misfits keep being early. And there he goes. It gives you a good list. On that list at the bottom is Zerp Zoo.
There you go.
Not in any particular order, but that's the gentleman we just covered. But here it is. XRM. We got Ascend from the Seals, Peak from the Seals, probably one of the best morning spaces on the XRPL every day. Ching, Emperor Ching, easily one of the best deep divers, top NFT. One of my the Toshi Naka Ninjas. If you don't have a Toshi Naka Ninja and you come out to the XRP ledger, just miss me, bro. Miss me until you get one. All right, this is mandatory. Pheanor, that's me, and then no one's a beast. I don't even want to be promoting his account like that. That's proper secret alpha. But Medici, man, this is a culture player. This is a mover on the XRPL. If you want to come out here, get an unbiased position, get your game up, understand who's who, how people are moving, get some really solid takes. And he doesn't ever, Medici's one of his best character traits, in my opinion, is doesn't get mired down in like a too focused of a view. Like he keeps a very wide peripheral.
Yeah, I see that.
He's able to find value in anything.
He's really good.
Very non-emotional.
Yeah. I think that he's able to shake off that tribalistic mindset that sometimes attached
yes, that's
to people.
What I'm saying.
Yeah. I noticed, and like I said, this is the kind of thing that I realized coming from. Honestly, man, I'm gonna have to do some shorts on are you a noob on cult or something like that, cult noobs or something like that, because that is really relatable to a lot of people that are just getting their toes wet and getting this journey going. But I noticed, like I said, I look at patterns, and the one thing, the analysis that I can I'm going to use the word body language in a sense that I can see his post, right? And I see his body language, and I see how he communicates, and I realize this dude doesn't carry any of that tribalistic weight. Yeah, he moves where the opportunity is without and he says things like they are, and it's still support, right? Even after all that. Because he knows that things are happening, and you want to win. And if you want to win, you definitely want to make sure that you follow Medici on X, and you pay attention to what he's saying.
Yeah, he's value oriented. He's a Value-Maxi, and for even for people like me, it's a good reminder. Especially for people like me, I should say, it's a good reminder, because I have that kind of gang affiliation, very hyper tribalism. That's in me as a person. I'm down to rock with who I'm down to rock with, and not who I'm not. Just let it be. But you need people like Medici around you that can say, hey bro, lighten up. Where's the value, though? Right. Hey, bro, I don't want you to miss the value. Hey, look over here, too. You need people like that around you. People like an XRM that are going to show you how to make the trade. Hey, we're going to make the trade, guys. We're going to make the trade, Hey, make sure they work for you type, It's you need people in your corner to help you keep a good mind state. And that's how I would probably say it. XRM is a must follow for the trades. Medici is a must follow to keep on the motion, keep your mind state right. Be able to seek the value always. And it's just key people like this out on the ledger that are helping form the culture layer of the XRPL, which is being built real time. The XRPL is not big. This is a huge opportunity. All the XRP native users, you are going to be essentially a first mover on the XRPL. getting out here in the first couple months.
Sweet.
Like this is a huge opportunity. So plug in with the right people. Do yourself a favor. Plug in with the right people. I had to go through a cycle on the XRPL before I could really say, you know what? I see this guy's value.
These
I
are
see this
the
person's
guys,
value. Yeah, this is a year's worth of watching people move. And I'm shortcutting that for these viewers and saying, here you go. You're welcome.
And, you know, we always talk about, you know, from our worldview perspective, and there is this one verse in the New Testament that says, test everything, hold on to what is good. Right. And that's what you've done. You know, that's what you've done. You went through tested all the spirits and has been able to keep this
as
company.
The cult master.
Yeah. And then you have kept this circle of individuals that are actually adding value to your life. And you know, I know this is cliche to say, but you are the sum total of the 5 people that you associate with the most. And that is a fact, man. It is a fact here on the ledger. Facts. It is a fact on the streets. It is a fact at home in your circle of friends. I mean, you realize that the more I will say intimate and specialized your circle of friends are, the bigger the opportunities are if they're quality people. And I think that's what you're pretty much giving us here. But with that being said, let's start looking at the NFT yard and who is moving the culture on the XRPL right now. What's going on?
Absolutely. Yeah, dude. And the NFT culture on the XRPL, I've been out to Solana. I've been out to the hood. I've looked around. There's a lot of good art. There's a lot of good culture everywhere. But the XRPL has its own breed. All right. There's a very specific style, and people are passionate about it. The NFT and the art markets on the XRPL, I think they're the best. I mean, obviously I'm biased, but we're going to crack into this a little bit and show you how strong of a foundation is being built on the XRPL. If these people care, you probably should too. So let's go ahead.
By the way, before that, guys, you heard how Pheanor, how passionate he said that. You know, that came from the heart. So let's go ahead on and share the it's facts, man. I felt it. I felt it. Okay, let's go. Let's do it.
This is crazy. We got JC Rivera on the XRP ledger. Okay? This is one of the top known artists coming out of Chicago. Look at that. When Real Madrid blesses me with my kit.
This is
the soccer team. You see that?
Bro.
What's on that back of that? What's on the back of that jersey? That says Bear Champ.
Wow.
Ticker B Champ on the XRPL. Look at it, tagging up the chairs. Check out this guy's culture, bro. How in tune he is. He's just out there tagging up some furniture with the Bear Champ. There he is. That's the Bear Champ right there, the character. And he's just boom, boom, boom. Look at these lines. I mean, this guy is the real deal. Totally talented. This is his life. This is what he does. His work is featured on the Madrid soccer team. His work is featured all over the walls of Dave Portnoy's freaking warehouse or whatever he's got out there, that huge media, incredible warehouse they got.
Yeah.
I mean, he's plugged in with different guys like Relic, Elliot Sloan. I mean, these are all extremely noteworthy, people who've achieved, notable success. But here's the takeaway. He chose the XRP ledger. JC Rivera chose the XRP ledger. Okay? He's been out here cooking for over a year. Went through the bear market with us on chain. And now we're about to come into a new bull season, meme season in the trenches of XRPL. And we got people like this swinging with us. Bullish.
Yeah.
Bullish.
Facts.
Okay? Like, seriously, this is as good as it gets, man. And do we have Bear Champ up next?
I think we have Bear Champ.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to make sure we at least hit that Bear Champ one.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was going to tell you just to click it, but here we go. So JC Rivera is the artist behind, and he is his IP, behind Bear Champ XRPL. So we started with JC Rivera. That's the artist, okay? Renowned artist. This is the project account, Bear Champ XRPL, at Bear Champ XRPL, or B Champ, but at Bear Champ. Now you can see here the whiteout. Now this first one, That's the OG, Bear Champ OG NFT collection. Floor is like 400, 500 XRP. Super undervalued. You can come out here and get one of these. There's only 500 of those. There's only 500 of those Bear Champs available on the XRPL. Okay? Huge opportunity, people. Now, on the right, we got the Shitty Panthers. This is also JC's art. This is a artistic interpretation of a kind of like a well-known joke tattoo called the Shitty Panther, but he put this together, and this has completely ignited the XRP ledger culture in like the past week or two.
I saw that.
You
It's
cannot
like,
come to the timeline and not see this.
That's right. I was
Yes,
going to
sir.
tell you, I go in and out throughout the day, and dude, it's like more and more, and everybody chopping it up about, these NFTs. I'm like, yo, this is phenomenal,
Dude.
man. Yeah.
We saw it happen real time. This was the Shitty Panthers. That was a 5 XRP mint. Okay, and people are just getting crazy value out of this thing, man. They're flipping them for hundreds. I think I've seen some go for thousands of XRP. The Bear Champ OG sitting at a 400 or 500 XRP floor. They minted, I think, for 10 XRP. So you've got an artist, world-renowned artist, comes out here, cooks up some art on the ledger, gives a killer entry price to the community, builds culture while he's doing it. We're going to celebrate Bear Champ. We're going to celebrate JC Rivera. Thanks for cooking on the ledger, bro. Can't wait to see what this project does. Great base community, very welcoming to people. So just wanted to make sure I did my duty and gave him a shout out on the show. Absolutely.
Fact. So we're going to go one that hit close to home. You know what I mean? And that is
What we got?
the Emperor. Here we go, man. Here we go.
Yeah, this is the homie. This is Emperor Ching. This is only for those who are truly worthy of the calling to be a trench lord. All right? You're not going to get it. It's not meant for you. If you're not about these trenches, okay, then you're not going to have this in your wallet. For me, I'm going to need a Toshi Naka Ninja in all of my wallets. This is my new standard, all right? Because these ninjas are just born. We got JC Rivera, okay? Top artist, comes to the ledger. That's bringing the outside in, and he's helping amp our culture up. This is from inside the ledger. Yeah. This is from inside the ledger kind of culture, okay? These were born into the freaking Ching's dojo. Some of the biggest fights, some of the biggest crash outs, some of the biggest just getting it all out there so we can move forward have happened in the dojo. Ching's dojo is a space that happens from time to time. Always one of the most popping spaces. This is his NFT collection. So a small collection, very prized, deep culture, Toshi Naka Ninjas. What he's saying here is he's going to add the dynamics to it, also known as Chinamics. And what he's going to be able to do is morph these NFTs essentially and give them an upgrade, give them some design polish, and really just take it to the next level. I already have a bunch. I'm going to be definitely sweeping and getting ready for this. Put this on your calendars. Keep this, follow, turn noties on for Emperor Ching 589 on X, and tap in. You don't want to miss this wave of culture on the XRPL, okay? So shout out to Ching, bro. Can't wait to see what you do with this one.
Phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. Let's go ahead on to the next one, and this one is Zenny.
Oh, this is the homie. Oh, this is a quote tweet of two homies right here, Hanky and Zenny. Both are the homies. So glad to have these dudes in the cult community. They just get it. Both are a total vibe. This is one of the cult NFTs. We'd like to think we've done our part here on the setting up for the culture for the XRPL. Some people might not like it. Some people might like it. That's the thing. Vibe for a tribe. So, Zenny, man, glad you made it out here. One of my favorite NFTs in the entire cult collection. There's only 102 of them. It's a small, humble collection. They've given back a lot of value. I think we minted at 69. The floor is maybe 400 or 500. They have a reward drip. If you hold a cult NFT, you get airdrop cult 3 times a week. Yep. And it's usually about anywhere from maybe 5 or maybe 10 XRP a week based on the price of cult. But regardless, this is one of my favorite ones. This is Skull Knight from Berserk. It's an artistic Pepe impression. It's the only one of its kind that has the armor and all of this. So I'm glad to see a proper cult Grail NFT go to the homie Zenny. I appreciate you, dog. Glad you're in the community with us. Easily one of my favorites right here. But yeah, man, had to at least, and we'll read it out. This is a quote from Skull Knight. All the cult NFTs are one of ones. And he says, struggle, endure, contend. For that alone is the sword of one who defies death. I mean, if we got any Berserk fans,
that's what
you already know how cold that is.
Absolutely.
That's as good as it gets.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
Shout out to Zenny, man.
All right, so we need to keep this side. We got 15 more minutes. We're going to keep it to an hour today. I usually like to go hour and 15, hour and 30, which is what we kind of have allocated for the CULTcast. Yep. But I want to ask you a question regarding, our biggest challenge right now on the XRPL. And I think I have an idea. I think it's something that is recurring that we keep going back to, but I'm just going to give it to you and have you to answer that question.
Yeah, it's a good question. And it's something I want to end, as we wrap up, we come to the closing up the show. We don't ever want to be accused, at least not justly accused, of just being some moon boys. Okay. We want to keep it real. We want to keep, reality first and center. Want to give people the truth of what the opportunity is. Yeah, there's a big opportunity, but there's a lot of challenge, a lot of friction, a lot of growth that needs to happen for us to be able to get to this, state that we're trying to get to for the ledger. My opinion, the biggest challenge we have right now is onboarding. We need to continue to send and amplify the signal to the broader XRP community that, hey, the XRPL is real. There are people out here. It is deeply passionate. We have a killer culture that is forming. People are successful. There are a lot of, different stories of success where people have turned it around, got the big bag, made a killer NFT flip or purchase. You're holding a Grail. You're going to be awfully proud to have something like that in your wallet. I look back on my wallet over the course of a year and a half or so, 2 years on the ledger. And I look through some of my NFTs. I look through some of my trust lines in my wallet. And it makes me smile. Like, yeah, I remember that. Hey, I was there for that. It becomes almost like a historical log of your journey on the ledger. And there's something to that. There's something to that. But the biggest challenge is we need to continue to see people come out to the ledger. This is why we want to support First Ledger. This is why we want to support XRP Cafe. Yeah. This is why we want to support the Joey wallet. Yeah. Download it today. If you haven't, it's free. All right. Download the Joey wallet. Download the Joey wallet. Download the Joey wallet 3 times. Don't forget it. We also look at people like Daniel, the CEO, XRPL.to. These are people that have got that dog in them. They're not going to quit. They're going to keep going. They're advancing the platform. They're advancing the ledger, right? Creating things for us all to engage with. Yeah. So, I don't ever want to lose sight of that. It's still very, very early. There's so much more ahead of the XRP ledger. And, that's kind of in my opinion, that's probably the biggest challenge that I see today, personally.
Phenomenal. And with this, now we can move on to the last segment of the show, and that is the meme of the week. So tee it up for us, and then I'll bring it onto the screen.
All right. Now, we already had him on the show once. It's the homie Zenny. This man is a proper cook when it comes to the memes, okay? And he got it pulled up right for me, okay? He says, here it is. You can either ride the wave or create them. I read that post. Was that today? I think it was today. I read that post and I said, gee, I know what you mean. That is a cult attitude. That's why I love the cult community. I'm not riding any waves. I'm trying to make the wave. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, I don't want to be on no pacifist. I want to get out here and get active. I love XRP. I want to be active on the XRP ledger. And how do I want to be active? It's in this meme right here. You see a seal. Shout out to the seal. We love the seals, man. Shout out to the seals. Be sure to tap in for their NFT collection, V2. Be sure to tap in for the seal scrolls. Get you if you come out to this ledger, get you a seal scroll. That's going to morph into an NFT. It's probably going to be one of the most valuable NFTs on the ledger. You're going to need to at least have one. There's some alpha for you, all right? Don't say I never did nothing for you. It's coming out in like maybe 6 weeks or so. You got a little bit of time. So get your wallet, get on X, follow the Seal account, join Peak, Depop. You ever see the Seal account in a space, jump in there and just check the vibe. Get ready. You got about 4 or 6 weeks. These Seal scrolls are going to be unlocking, giving you one of the best NFTs in the market. But the bigger point here in this meme that's being conveyed is, look, the wave's going to come. If you don't make it, somebody else will. You know, so make the wave. How do you want to make it? There's a Seal wearing a Cult hoodie, and I feel the same way, bro. I'm a Cult wearing a Seal hoodie. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take us all. It's a small space. You know, obviously there's going to be natural lines of division, some tribalness and all that. That's healthy in my opinion. But don't lose too much sight of it. Keep a Medici type mindset, an XRM type mindset. You know, high value, broad value, secure the bag, make the trade. Everybody keep growing. You need the right people winning. You know, people are going to stick around, keep going. And I just seen this meme today, and I was like, that's the one. That's on the show. So shout out to you, Zenny, man. Keep cooking, brother. Yeah. I love it. Love the direction. Love the ethos.
I want to say, you know, this is one of the awesome things about having a CULTcast. We keep it highly organic. We can talk about things that happened just a few hours ago. We can, you know, plug those into the show. I think you said something profound earlier, and it's this idea of, you know, we have to truly choose which hills to die on. And when it comes to the ledger, when it comes to money, honestly, man, you know, there is no one thing that it's like me. For example, I was just in South Carolina working on getting a rental that I have there up to standards so I can rent it again. And I had some TVs. I had like 5 TVs, Roku TVs that because we did Airbnb there. Just a man comes up, about 35 years old, young African guy, picks all 5 of them up, and I said, hey, what you going to do with him? Dude comes up in a busted truck, right, with 2 other guys just helping him, you know, just like, he said, well, you know, it's just one of my properties, you know, and I had to rent it out as Section 8, so I'm cleaning it up, and you know, because they busted it all up, and you know, similar to, you know, what happened to us, probably worse. And he said, and just gonna turn into Airbnb. And I said, well, what do you do for a living? I said, that's what I do for a living. I said, I bought properties, flip them. I said, you could look at this guy and be so unassuming. And he said, look, most people who are dealing in the millions don't want people to know that they're dealing in the millions. So when it comes to money, man, there are a lot of hills that you should not be dying on. Yeah. You should be sitting back with your doing your numbers, right? Doing your numbers, right? Making sure that that's what's driving you forward. And again, having a community is essential in this world. You got to pick your community right. But there are also a bunch of other opportunities that maybe just because you don't see eye to eye with so-and-so, that shouldn't stop you from being able to make a bag there too, right? Absolutely. So I think that that's one of the things that we have to be mindful of. So with that being said, I want to go over, just went through the price action, the on-chain signals, the platform updates, the builders, the traders, the NFT culture, and we landed on onboarding as the biggest challenge. As usual, we have to make sure that it's easy for people. So give us that one takeaway you want someone watching this to actually act tonight. What is the one actionable takeaway that you give our audience? Absolutely.
XRP is at $1.26. All right. If it continues, it can easily go to $2, $5. Okay. There's no better time while XRP is still relatively close to the lows to take 50, 100, 25 XRP, whatever makes sense for you. None of this is financial advice in these shows. But we want to encourage you. If the opportunity makes sense for you, if you're interested in the learning curve, if you've ever thought to yourself, man, I love XRP, but I really don't know how to use it or how it works, or I just want to learn some more. I want to learn more about on-chain. There's no better time than now. XRP is still relatively close to the lows. Last time, late 2024, there was a huge explosion of growth. People had so much opportunity in front of them. So many people were able to level up their situations and get the asset they care most about. I'm here to stack XRP. I'm not here to make more dollars. I'm here to get a larger bag of XRP. And so it's the best case scenario for everybody. Yeah, there's opportunity to make USD, RLUSD. There's a bigger opportunity to make more XRP. So if you're here to stack XRP, if you're here to learn more about XRP, if you're here to take that next step, if you're here to have asymmetric value opportunities in front of you, learn and grow and make the bag and join a community and learn how all this works, see where the next wave of crypto is going, then do what we're saying. Take these next steps. Get you a Joey wallet. Everything you need to get active on the XRPL is contained within that Joey wallet. You can bring in 50, 100 XRP. You can go to the dApp side. You can onboard into First Ledger. You can onboard into Lucky Hash. You can onboard into X Magnetic. You can onboard into XRP Cafe. Any of these platforms that we're talking about, you can go join that platform through the Joey wallet. You can then get access and get exposure to things like Bearchamp. You can see why we're so bullish on it. Go get a couple NFTs. Go buy a Cult token. Go buy a Seal token. Go buy a Seal NFT. Join their Discord. Joey is your first step into joining the true XRP culture. If you're ever willing, ready, or wondering, how do I join the XRP culture? How do I go on chain? How do I become Web3 native as an XRP consumer, a native user? That's how you do it. Download the Joey wallet. Bring in a little bit of XRP and start your journey today. Now is the time. That's what I would say.
Nothing else needed. See you guys next week.
Cult Rising.
As the broadcast fades, the transformation endures. Seekers, you have beheld the secrets revealed. You have tasted the sacred waters of understanding. Now you're within the sanctuary as the oracle channeled the truth through the ledger's boundless expanse. This holy transmission may come to an end, but what you learn, the knowledge, the perception, the cult energy coursing through your being, that is eternal. The grind never ceases when the feed goes dark. The grind never sleeps, it just amplifies, irradiates, emerge with the meme that you are becoming. Before you were a wanderer, now you are a disciple. When the CULTcast call you, you return over and over again. So until the next CULTcast, hold your grip tight on the wisdom, the knowledge, the truth. Never cease being a cultist. Keep ascending, keep transcending.